Yeah.
Hi. Not hi.
So we need a little prompting still, but she's getting it.
That's awesome. So this is our second Mommy, Me, and Tea wellness group meeting. Um, so first I'm gonna just talk about like a little recap of what we talked about during our last session. And then just some mom updates, so I can hear how your kids are doing now, and if they're doing anything new, if they're doing anything better, um, or anything that you want to share. And then I'm going to talk about milestones that I would expect to see from Levi and Austin's age group, and then from Emmy, Tayson, and Arthur's age group. And then we'll do some little one-on-ones. I know that Austin's asleep, so I have some videos. And then Lindsay couldn't come today, but I have some videos from her. So we'll also go through those. So I'll have Emmy go first, so that way we can try to get her before she gets too tired. And if at any time I'm talking, you're like, that time's approaching, or did you want to do the one-on-one before I go over the other stuff? Like, what's her time frame?
She's probably gonna be due for a nap right around like 1:45 or 2.
Okay.
So
Okay, I think I can get through it really fast.
okay.
Um, so what about, I know you said that Emmy's waving hi.
Yes. She started clapping.
Good.
Yeah, so we hit a little bit of a bump in the road because she got sick last week. So we've kind of been just like laying low. But she's still doing all her things.
I
Feeling
love
better
those
this
noises that
week.
she's making. It's like,
Yeah, that's her favorite.
and do you feel with the cruising, have you noticed, I know you said she got sick, so is that about the same, still working on it?
I feel like she's like sidestepping a lot now. Like she's like cruising furniture, like
Awesome.
like
Good job, Emmy. And then let me go ahead and I'll just stop sharing while we're talking here. And then Brittany, how's Austin doing?
So Austin is now, he has found his voice like tremendously. He is trying to get something out and across to us, and he's doing a great job with it. He's like screaming now, like and all of that. He grabs a lot. He's grabbing our fingers and stuff more, grabbing his toys, his rattles a lot more. Um, he is tracking. He's doing good.
Yeah, I'm so happy to
He's
hear that.
doing
And
good.
and then today, as we're talking, is there anything that y'all were like, let me make sure that I ask that, or that we go over that today? Like,
I don't have anything.
we could just go with the flow, and then we'll do those. Well, I'll watch Kelsey play with Emmy too, and then we can kind of go. And I also have some suggestions for you too that I got from the videos too.
Okay.
So, and then during our last meeting, share my screen again. During the last meeting, these are just some stock videos that were on Canva. We talked about rolling, and we talked about weight shifting and why it's important to weight shift in different positions, and how rolling can be like the foundation for those future goals. We did talk about sitting and reaching with Arthur and Tayson, and then coming back up to sit. We touched a little bit on playing in hands and knees with Arthur, but we didn't go too much in depth in that. And then we talked about cruising with Emmy and how to facilitate it. And then before going over some milestones, well, we already did the updates. So, oh yeah, I also wanted to, I know that being a mom is hard. So, and sometimes we forget to take care of ourselves. So I thought it would be nice just to share real fast, like something you've done for yourself to help your own well-being. For me, I went for a walk yesterday, and like, I haven't done anything active for a long time. I had the baby with me, but it still felt good to get my heart rate up. So what are some things that you all are doing to help take care of yourself?
So I had a scare last week with my C-section scar. It started bleeding a little bit. So I had been trying to do my walks and everything, but I was like, maybe I need to, calm down a little bit and stop doing too much. So I did go get a pedicure.
Good.
I needed to do that. So I did that. But that's about it. I need to find a good balance of finding time for me now, you know.
And I think that's great that you listened to your body to slow down and did something for you. And I got a pedicure also. My feet were I was kind of like
Oh,
the balance
yes.
in there.
Yes.
And Kelsey, what about you? What have you done to self-care for yourself?
I mean, I'm sure you guys understand too, just like getting in like a hot, nice long shower is like somewhat
Yes.
impossible throughout the day. So I've just like been starting to take my showers after she goes to bed at night. And then I can
It's the
have like
best.
my good like 30, 45 minutes just alone to myself. And like my husband's downstairs if she cries or anything like that. But that's what I've been doing lately because it's nice to just have like a minute to yourself.
I feel like a hot shower is like a little spa, like,
Yes.
Yes.
I definitely took it for advantage before
Yes.
I had a
Yes.
baby.
Yes. I'm glad we're all doing something to take care of ourselves because it can get overwhelming, I think, sometimes. So as far as the next slide, oops, let's see. And I know with what we talked about last time, we kind of skipped some milestones and stuff because, I was just trying to see what you all wanted and where you were at. But I do think it's important to kind of talk about what to expect for the age groups that we're working with. And I did use that form, the ELAP, and then just a little bit of my experience to fill this out. So as far as Austin and Levi, so Levi's my baby, what I would expect to see, and also what they should be working towards. So that way when we're doing exercises, we may not realize that it's actually working towards something, like doing hand over hand with the rattle and shaking. Like that's a 4-month skill where they'll be able to, shake the rattle on their own. So even though we're playing, but we want to play with intention. So we have that in the background. So I think it's good to know these milestones. So I'd expect to see, them rolling from their side to their back and progressing from rolling from the back to the side, already starting to track past midline by 2 months, holding their head steady during position changes for the most part. Like it may not be consistent, but you may have some good days and bad days, but you're starting to notice, that their head stability is vastly improving. And also pushing through their feet when they're held in standing, that they're wiggling a lot and getting their arms and their legs moving. Like it looks like they're probably air running or something, you want to make sure it's equal on both sides. And that when they're doing tummy time, they're starting to lift their head and their chest up. And if you put them on their forearms, maybe not for a long time, but they're doing it. And then
How long should he be on tummy time? Like how long should I have him on his tummy? He hates it.
Yeah, I usually say tummy time doesn't have to look like tummy time. Like if you have a baby that doesn't like tummy time, when he's on your chest and you're leaning back, like that's also tummy time. You can try it with the yoga ball and rolling him different directions and patting the ball. That's also tummy time. So if he doesn't like being on his tummy, on a mat, or the floor, there's other ways you can accomplish that. And I always say, like, it depends on the baby, how long you do it at one time. I know like when babies don't like tummy time and they might get a little fussy, and it's okay if they get a little fussy, but I don't like them to get where they can't breathe and they're crying and they're just like, and then it's going to become something traumatic that they're really going to have an aversion to if you force them when they're like, that cry, I mean, what I'm talking about,
Mhm.
So yeah, it's okay if they cry a little bit and fuss a little bit, but you don't want it to be, you can pick them up and comfort them and do something else and then go back to tummy time. But probably, if all the little times that you work on it can add up to 30 minutes, then that's a good
Okay.
goal to have. But it just depends. And if it doesn't add up to that, that's okay too. You just want to make sure you're doing it here and there throughout the day as they tolerate it. And you can try the other methods also that can mimic tummy time, just so that they're getting to lift their head up.
Okay.
And then I know that Kelsey's a NICU nurse, so I'm curious what your take is on that.
I feel like we don't really prioritize tummy time like we should in the NICU. But I feel like what if a baby can tolerate it, like, they're not on heavy respiratory support and all that kind of stuff, then we do like, I mean, we have OTs and PTs that come and work with them throughout the day, but it's definitely not like how a normal healthy baby should be getting like up to 30 minutes a day or however long. I would say in the NICU, it's more so like, very minimal, but I mean, I think that we do a good job of like still positioning babies on their belly, like throughout, every other cares, which is every 3 hours, just to give them like that exposure to being on their belly. And I don't feel like we've ever really seen a problem with, not having babies on their belly.
I'm thinking more like with your experience and then at home with Emmy, how did you like, how often did you and Emmy do tummy time? Because she's doing amazing. She's, 9.5 months already, like starting to cruise. So what's your
Yeah.
secret?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I felt like all of my knowledge went out the window when I had a baby of my own. Like, I feel like everything that I knew was not, like what I had learned. But we had a kind of, I tried to like prioritize some much too. But she had reflux really bad when she was younger. She kind of outgrew it by the time she was like 4 or 5 months old. But we have the kick and play mat, the Fisher Price one that everybody talks about, the like purple monkey and a bubblegum tree one, and and I feel like putting her on her belly with that and like the little piano keys lighting up and stuff would help keep her attention long enough to where we'd get, 2-3 minutes in here in the morning. And then, like I would kind of try to do it before I would feed her so that she wouldn't spit up everywhere and like it wouldn't be hurting her belly. I asked my pediatrician about it and she said to use the boppy actually for tummy time until she could really tolerate it. And that helped a lot. And I wear her a lot, like I baby wear a lot. And I've heard that that is actually a form of tummy time also. So that's what I've been doing, but I don't know. Like if that's, yeah, I've tried to do it, but I definitely wasn't like as good about it when she was like a newborn. So I think that that's, I don't think anybody can be ever perfect at it. So
yeah, I don't know them. I've seen mats that light up, but I don't know that specific mat that you talked about. So in our Facebook group, if you could share that, that'd be awesome. And so let's see. So we talked about, I think I already went through all this, right? Yeah. Did I?
Yes. Yes.
Like I don't remember shaking the rattle and all that. Okay. So now, so on me and Austin and Levi's screen, I fit the fine motor and gross motor on one slide. But for the older kiddos, I kind of broke it up because they have more. So for the 9 to 9.5 range, I also kind of went, up to 11 months. I would expect them to, sit without support for about 10 minutes, sitting and changing, positions without falling. So transitioning from to sitting from their belly and then back up, bouncing when held in standing, being able to get into hands and knees, commando crawling, pulling self to standing, and that they can stay standing at the furniture, holding the furniture for about 5 minutes and making stepping movements, which we know Emmy's doing already. She's doing all of those, being able to lower themselves to sitting with upper body support. So I know she had started doing that the last time. And that they should be crawling on hands and knees by 10 months and stand with holding one hand by 10 months. And I know that Emmy transitioned from one piece of furniture to another already. So I'm assuming, is she having to, like, does she at any point, is it just one hand or is it?
yeah, she'll do one hand. There's a couple times that she'll like let go, but then it's almost like she's scared. And so then she immediately like falls or grabs onto something. But I feel like she could stand up without holding on anything, but she just like she has a look of terror in her face when she like all of a sudden is standing without holding on anything.
So maybe
But
when you have your one-on-one, you can try also just standing with one hand and just look
okay.
at her balance there and like having her move her hand to play. Um, and then also by 10 months standing, and then going down to sit without holding anything, and then cruising by 11 months. So Emmy's ahead. She's, I know she's still working on her
Yeah.
a bit like how smooth it looks, but and then also being able to walk with one or both hands by 11 months, and that's for gross motor. For fine motor, I started a little bit earlier just because we didn't really go over fine motor last time, so I didn't know where you all were at. So by 6 months, your baby the older babies should be raking up dry cereal with their fingers against their palm. By 7 months, transferring a toy from one hand to another. By 9 months, grasping with their thumb and forefinger. And by 10 months, their index finger begins to like poke or, put in loops and hooks and toys. And by 10 months, also uncover hidden toys. So I would always play a game with my patients and let them see me hide one of their favorite toys under a blanket. And then they'd go and like look for it and, or be like, oh, where'd it go? Kind of like a form of peekaboo. But peekaboo is a very good social game that even like Brittany, you and I should start playing with our babies too, like the peekaboo game, because that also sets them up for this later goal where they're going to be looking for things when you hide them. So,
and I have done it with Austin, and he just laughs. He laughs. He enjoys it. So
I just did it today, and Levi was like, his eyes just got big, like, oh, there she is. And then by 10 months, the older baby should be able to hit two objects together and manipulate them with their hands. So, how's Emmy doing with those fine motor skills?
I feel like she's doing everything except the poking. Like she's kind of like playing with things with her pointer finger, if that makes sense. So like, I don't know if she had like, I don't know, she really likes my pop socket on my phone. So she'll kind of like play with it with her finger, but not like, I don't know if that counts for that one.
Well, it's
But
also like isolating it. Like, is
okay.
she, yeah.
Yeah, because there would be like something really tiny on something and she'll kind of like try to like get it. Um, but she has like started just now, like I would say last week, using her pincer grasp, which is really fun to see. And like she all of a sudden, like, because she turned 9 months old last Tuesday, and I swear on that day, she went from wanting food that was like in big pieces because we're doing the baby led weaning to like she will not grab it unless it's in tiny little pieces now. So she's doing much better about using that.
And food's like the best way to practice, that
Mhm.
grasp because they want it.
Yeah. She's a girl that likes to eat. So.
And then I know last time I think Lindsay and Lauren wanted to get to crawling more and we didn't really get to, but I did want to touch base on crawling, and I kind of just wrote like the progression here, like how it starts from, from Levi and Austin's age and how it builds up to, hands and knees and rocking. So just that they start, on their tummy, on their elbows, and on their hands, and then releasing one hand, and then tummy to hands and knees, and then sitting and transitioning over to hands and knees, and then hands and knees play with releasing one arm, and then that rocking motion that babies start to do right before they start to crawl. But I also wanted to talk about crawling because why some babies skip crawling. And actually, the CDC removed crawling from the milestones list due to lack of normative data on various types of crawling. And when they did that, I think it was like last year or the year before, all the therapists and all the groups were like, no, why? Because crawling is still, yes, babies can skip crawling and just start walking, but crawling plays such an important role on cognitive development, coordination, eye-hand coordination. And I didn't get to like dive deep into like research studies, but I just pulled up a couple things that I found. So the first study here that I have listed looked at 77 70-year-old children that crawled before walking, and then some and that didn't, in relation to body composition, cardiovascular health, lung function, motor competence, physical fitness, and physical activity. And this study did find a positive correlation with crawling before walking. It also describes visual prediction abilities in context of spatial object processing, and that was doubled in crawlers. And then the next one was an article. It wasn't a study, but it talked about how crawling stimulates the hemispheres of the brain to communicate due to the coordination that it requires, because it requires such coordinated movements from the eyes, hands, feet, and the core. So this not only improves strength and balance, but also cognitive skills and problem solving. And it also helps to reshape the hip socket by pulling them inward and forward. And that promotes the body to be in a more optimal position for walking. So it definitely has a lot of positives. So I just kind of wanted to touch base on that because, some people think crawling's not important, but it's like, no, still try to help your baby crawl and work on those hands and knees positions. So now we're going to do the one-on-ones. Let me stop sharing. And gonna see, can I pen you? Okay. Oh, she's bouncing.
She dances a lot now too. She'll bounce and dance and like it's so funny because she'll get on all fours and like scoot back and forth to music. It's so funny.
Hi, honey. And so whenever you're ready, just start playing with her like as if we weren't here, and then I can give you some tips and cues. And then if you could try like the standing and holding one hand and maybe playing with the toy with the other one.
Okay. Let's go over here. What's over here? What's your music? Can you stand up? Oh, okay. Go over here. There you go. Gotta make sure they're watching. They're watching. Don't worry. I feel like she's gotten a lot smoother with the way she comes down now too. Like she's a lot more gentle with it. It's not so abrupt.
I loved how she went down through half kneeling. That did look really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if when she's next time she's standing up, or maybe we can try cruising the couch and put something that she wouldn't want, or maybe your leg. You can put your leg out, and I want to see if she'll step over your leg.
Okay.
And you might need to help her so she doesn't fall doing it, but
You still see?
And if we can't see her step over it, you can describe it to us too.
Okay. Can you still see from right here though?
Yes.
Okay. Good job. I know. Card? Is it too close? Yeah.
And just make sure to guard her, with your right hand there.
Like she's trying, but I don't know if I'm giving her enough room.
Next time she does it, go ahead and lift her leg up a little bit for her to initiate it.
Okay. Look at it. Look at it. I know. Let's go. Yeah.
Good job.
I've also helped her like start trying to like climb the stairs, and she's actually done really good with it. Like figuring out that she has to like lift all
Yeah.
four limbs to do it. And we did get like a cushion off the couch, and she was like getting on top of that too and climbing the couch. So
Good. I know I love the stairs too because it really is a good leg workout to have carryover with things like these. And I liked how you positioned her right leg over your leg then to see if she would lift up the left leg. And even though that this is kind of one of those like wellness exercises because she's not there, like she's not that's not a milestone we would expect to see right now, but you're helping her do it to prepare for that future milestone. So that way it can, and it can help, it'll have carryover for her just regular cruising, because it
yeah,
helps build that leg strength.
right.
Another way you can try it too, let me get my doll. And you can have her, I'm going to do it with my baby facing you, but I haven't tried it the other way, but you could try it the other way too. But if she's standing and playing, shift her weight here to the side and see if she'll cross over.
Okay.
And see if she crosses over. And you may have to turn her body with your arm.
Okay.
Like you may have to turn.
Like that.
Yeah. And maybe we could see if she does it when she's standing, if she wants to stand.
She's like sitting.
Maybe if you hold her hands more, will she come up? Whee! There we go. Good job.
Can you try again? Oh my goodness. Ready? Good job.
Good job.
Can you clap? You know how. Yay! Good job.
And kind of like you had started to do when she was on your leg, like shifting. I liked how you started doing like the shifting side to side.
Mhm.
That's also great to work on her balance, and you can play here and just kind of go back and forth and make her want to come back up. And if you sing a song too, that might help her like, oh, this is fun.
You ready? You ready? Yeah, step over it. Whoa, whoa, here we go.
And with this one, with going side to side, try putting your hands more on her, maybe like mid trunk or low. You can go to the low hips too. With it. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And this is also a great age to like, like when you're practicing with her, you could be like 1, 2, 3, and then the next like 1, 2, and then just are you already doing that?
Yeah.
And that's great for language too.
When she's bouncing and she goes, ready, ready, jumping bean, jumping bean, Emmy is a jumping bean, jumping bean, jumping bean, Emmy is a jumping bean. Yay! She doesn't like stopping.
She's like, more. And you can even start that where like when you stop and then how she was kind of like, then you can kind of be like more, and try to get her to imitate because she's also at that, age where she's going to start imitating you a lot.
Yeah, because I've definitely tried to like do the sign language and stuff with her, but I don't know that she's really like she's done milk a couple times, but like I don't really know when that's supposed to come into play either. So we've been trying, but
that's awesome. Well, she's doing great.
Good. I'm
Is there
glad.
any, and then I think a good plan, like for you to work on between now and next time is just, keep practicing the cruising and then stepping over your leg with you helping her and just
Mhm.
on your leg working her core by shifting side to side and staying at one
Mhm.
side and trying to get her to come back up. Okay. And keep on doing the like crawling up the stairs and crawling over cushions and turning around backwards to crawl off the couch and off of the cushions.
Yes, we've done that too.
Okay. And then standing with just holding one hand
Yeah.
to be good. And you could probably even work on like when she's sitting, will she like throw a toy or
Yeah, and then my husband actually has been practicing having her catch a ball, and she's done it like several times.
that's awesome.
Kind of crazy, but I don't know. I didn't think that was a
That
thing.
is awesome. And keep doing those, songs and then starting and stopping and then not finishing the song to see if she's like, hey,
Okay. And I do have one of those like push walkers that I got her. Is that like she kind of sits in place with it now and then like over the last couple days she has like pulled herself on it and kind of like taken a couple steps, but is that like something that is like too advanced for her right now that we should kind of maybe put away, or like is it okay for her to practice those skills with a push walker as long as like we're right there?
yeah, as long as you're right there and like I probably just keep it on the carpet and you may even be able to add like bean bags or something to
Yeah.
make it not go as fast.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's okay. And not only that, but also the front. Usually, if it's like what I'm picturing in my head, the front usually has like toys on it.
Mhm. Yeah.
If she's playing and taw kneeling in front of it,
Mhm.
like that's also good
Yes.
practice.
Yeah, and she's been sitting on her knees a lot lately. Like,
Just
yeah.
make sure she doesn't go into like that W position.
So can you explain like the
They
bad
love
things about that? Yeah.
So, with the W position, it's harder to like if I'm like this and I see a toy over here,
Mhm.
like it stops me from moving.
Okay.
So sometimes kids they'll just kind of be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna get it instead of like transitioning out of that position to be able to get it.
Okay.
So that's how it can contribute to motor delays because
Okay.
it limits your mobility. I have heard some therapists say that it can cause like laxity in the ligaments, but then I've seen orthopedic doctors, and I haven't actually seen the research for that, but I know some therapists have said that, and I know an orthopedic doctor that was like, no, it's fine. But as far as from like a development standpoint, it does limit, like you can just see that, how so and it still puts stress like on the capsule, the hip capsule and the knee capsule. And I mean it could contribute to pain later on. But I met like a 80-year-old grandma that was W sitting one time when I was and she was like, I'm fine, I've been doing it all my life. So, kind of one of those things. But I have a feeling that if Emmy was W sitting and she wanted something, she would just get out of the position to get it.
She does, but she like yeah, if she sits in the W position, then like she'll move out of it, like you said. But mostly, I feel like lately she's been sitting like on her, like sitting on her knees, and then like she'll get up on like tall kneeling too. But yeah,
That's
she
okay.
definitely does like move herself around pretty well. But I didn't know if there was like
Still
a
sitting.
concern with
Yeah. So
that.
like because her feet are they're under her butt.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
But she's doing great. So good job, Emmy.
You say good job. Yay.
So now I'm gonna pin Brittany here. So Brittany, I see that Austin's awake. Is he awake or is he just sleeping? There. He's like half asleep.
I'm sorry, he's in and out.
Okay, do you want me to go? I'll go to the videos.
That's fine, yeah. And Lindsay said are we still on? So she might be coming on.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. I think I had pinned you, so I'm gonna. There it is. Okay, let me share my screen. It started fast. Let me pause that. Hold on. Sorry, I'm gonna start over because it started really fast when I wasn't ready. Okay, and then here's the other video.
He's a happy baby.
Aw. And I think that Austin did an amazing job tracking the toy and engaging with you. And I loved seeing his little smile. And I like that you used the strategy shown last time of using a rattle to help with the roll. I don't even know if he was even looking at the rattle when he rolled. He was just like, I'm gonna roll. Like he's
Right.
he's like, I got this. And then let's see, and Austin showing us in the video that he can track past midline. He watched the rattle at different points going past midline, and his head rotation looked good to both sides. And he showed us that he can roll from his left side to his back. I'd love to see him roll from his right side to his back just to make sure he's doing it on both sides and to see you practicing a full roll, like with you helping him. I'd also like to see how he looks in tummy time and what his head control looks like when you're holding him and sitting and during pull to sit. So you can like help him with the pull to sit. I just kind of want to see what his head looks like and having a video of how he wiggles just to make sure he's equal on both sides. And then even like doing like, you know, shaking the rattle, helping him shake the rattle just to prepare for that 4-month-old skill. So I think those would be some like good things to work on. Do you have any questions?
No, you gave me suggestions to be working with him on. So I'll work with him on that.
And I
We
know I've
both do go to the chiropractor too. So I think he loves that.
yeah.
And I think that has truly helped with his head control
Good.
and doing that. So
I know I've shared some videos with you and like tagged you on videos too to give you some ideas on like how to play with them to promote those skills. So like, yeah, if at any time, if you want to take a video of you doing those things, I can give you, you know, tips on it right away, but I'll still probably like share it during the next meeting just since we record it so other people can benefit from it and get ideas from it also. Okay. And then hey Lindsay. Hi Tayson.
Hi. Sorry, mom brain.
No problem. Well, I see that Tayson's awake. I do have the videos that you shared. Since do you want me to go like critique like and give you tips from the videos, or do you want to do some one-on-one with him now since he's awake? Like what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's fine. We can do some one-on-one.
Okay. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna pin you so make sure everyone can see you. There we go. So just go ahead and play with him, and you can even so I know that we had talked on Facebook Messenger and I gave you some tips about hands and knees play, so you can try some of those strategies too, and we can just kind of go from there.
Okay. Let me check over here. Oh yeah. Good job.
And Lindsay, I might turn you around a little bit, but I think in the videos he was also going to the right side. Can you move, like, can you make it so he tries it on the left?
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Good job. Oh, you're almost there. You're almost there.
And next time he gets to that kind of the hands and knees position, go ahead and help him at his hips stay there.
Oh, that's like the first time, like he's gotten really close to that position before, and then he normally just like it's almost like he doesn't know what to do and he just goes back down to like sit. But that was the first time he was like really close to
Yeah, he's
going.
bounced there for a little bit. That was good. So also right now that he's on his tummy, I wanted to show you this to get him back to sit. Instead of like placing him back and sit, you can go through the transition of like practicing. So right now he's on his belly, right? So instead of just picking him up and like placing him, I want you to get him on his side, bring that bottom leg up, push down on this hip, and then lift here, and then bring him back to sit. So it's just like you're passively taking him through the hip transition back to sitting. So roll to his side.
Okay.
Bottom leg up, and then try to like lift him from the his trunk that's closest to the carpet, and then move your hand on his hip to bring him up.
Okay.
So every time that you are going to change positions, during play or diaper changes, you always want to passively go through the hip transition that you want him to learn, like just so his body learns that movement. So like even when he's here, you're playing and you know that he'll get on his tummy alone by himself. But if ever you like, you want to put him on his tummy, I would go through the transition too. I'd like go to his side or go here and help him transition through over that hip.
Okay.
And you can even go from sitting to hands and knees, but if he needs, if you're changing the position because you have a certain goal in mind, but definitely coming from belly to sit, I would like don't place him, just go through that.
Okay.
Do you want to try some more like hands and knees play over your leg or the boppy pillow or?
Yep.
And while he's on hands and knees, if you're able to, and his knees are here, put your hands here and push some weight from his hip to his knee and just do like a shift side to side, side to side.
Okay. He loves the remote control, so we had to get an old one from downstairs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good. And then maybe use your left leg. If you, there you go. So you can bring his hips, yeah, more in a knee. And even right there, you can start going side to side and sing a song or,
Okay.
yeah. So let me see you kind of, now that he's here, you're just kind of be like, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Ah! There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Is he able to pull himself to stand? Like if you grab his hands and shift his weight to one side, will he come up on a leg or will he push up to stand?
Yeah, like he'll um up, up, up. Good job.
Yay! All right. Good job.
But he won't like maybe it's the way we have our furniture positioned too, but like we're never really around anything for him to like climb up on, I guess. And when we play on the floor, I guess we're like in the middle of the floor instead of by furniture. So like the last, I guess, maybe 2 weeks, there's not like the whole time we're playing on the floor, just like sometimes I move closer to the couch to like see if he'll, you know, pull himself up or anything. But I just don't think he has maybe that amount of strength yet, or maybe he does, he just doesn't know how to do
Yeah.
it. But
You want to go by the couch right now and put a toy on the couch and try to see if I like that he's trying to bounce. He's like, whoop. He does like occasional bouncing.
oh yeah.
And then even if he needs help to pull himself up, like you can help him. Maybe even do the transition that I showed you, but just go into, oh, I don't think I didn't show you this one. Like transition over his hip and sweep his leg so he's in tall kneeling at the couch, and then have a toy up there already.
Ooh.
There we go. And then while he's there, put another toy up there and put it a little bit further away. Shift his weight to the side, to one side, so his other leg's freed up to come up. Good balance. Look at that balance right there. There you go. And maybe do a little like shift to one side. Will he let you? You might have to move his leg for him.
I am shifting to one side.
And then
So
go
help
ahead,
bring him foot up.
yeah, go ahead and lift that leg up so he's in like half kneeling, and then help him push up, even if you're lifting him up now, even if you're, good job.
Whoa.
And that'll be good to practice that, like how to pull up to stand. Even if you're doing most of the work, it's showing him how to do it. And just hang
Okay.
out. Because one of the goals also for his age is to be able to stand at furniture for, going up to 5 minutes. So you can just play there too, just standing and playing to work on his tolerance.
Okay.
Another way to work on his, I'm sorry.
I said, okay, we'll do that. I get a little, I feel like it's almost my fault that he's,
No. I mean, a lot of kids, like, they can be a little bit behind, and it's okay. It's just, the way that it is. And sometimes kids, you can tell he's interested in toys. And if he, and he's doing great right now. Like, you're doing a good job, and you're coming to the classes, and you're working on it. And he's a happy little baby. You're doing
sorry.
It's okay. And he isn't, he's not that far behind. He's gonna catch up. And he's interested in toys, and he's motivated to get the toys. So, and that's important. And and he thought it was so cute when you started singing "Row, Row Your Boat." I heard him, like, he was like, "Oh, hey," like, so
Yeah.
you got this, Mom. Good. Good. And I'm gonna kind of show you with my doll. So you're here, right? And then you're shifting, and his legs are he's kind of in that side sit, but sometimes the legs can get stuck too. So you kind of want to, and then he's here. And then once he's here and you shift him to the side, you did good getting him in half kneeling. But then what you want to do is you're going to shift his weight back onto that foot and then help him, lift him up or help him come up. It's just kind of a back and forth motion with that shifting. So when you want him to push through that forward leg, you'll have to move his weight onto it. And even if he can't pull himself up and you're doing it, you want to make sure you get that weight shift, that diagonal weight shift onto that front leg.
Okay. Oh my God.
You got it, Tayson. And that was a good push. He pushed through that front leg really well.
Good job.
Yay. So my plan for you to work with Tayson would be keep doing those hands and knees play, helping him in hands and knees. When he's almost got it, but you feel like he's going to lose his balance, help him stay stable. When he's playing over your leg, really get that weight bearing where you're pushing. We talked about he's here where you're pushing weight from the hips, one hip to the other, to get that kind of weight shifting and that weight going from his hip to his knee, because that helps to make his leg stronger also. And when you need to, if his legs start coming out, just use your leg to squeeze them back in.
Okay.
And then I also want you to practice, like, when you're here, you don't need to lift him into standing and then get him on the knees. You can practice the shifting to the side, swooping the legs, coming back up, but I know sometimes if he's like, oh, I don't want to do it, and you have to do it that way, that's okay. But just try to do it the other way too. And he did really nice when he pushed up through his front leg to get up like that. And just, so practice that at the furniture and standing tolerance at the furniture. And I would still do like the baby sit-ups to work on his grip. So when I say baby sit-ups, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like when he's laying on the floor, like coming up and going down.
Yes, yeah. You just want to make sure that you're not just pulling him. You want to kind of do a little tug to get him to initiate his pecs and his shoulders to pull up himself. And if you need to help him, you can. But sometimes just staying there and kind of bouncing your hands a little bit to just help turn those on can be helpful. So that's my plan for you to work on. Do you have any other questions? Like,
I don't think so. That paperwork that you sent us, like I was going through it. I didn't like grade it, but I can go through and grade it and send it back to you. But when I was going through it, he met pretty much all of the he was meeting pretty much all of those that it listed except like the crawling, the commando crawling, and like standing up. Like those were the ones that we haven't been able to get yet.
so maybe if you want to, you and I can set up a call separately, and we can kind of go over the ELAP and just to make sure that we score it so we can see exactly where he's at. And then I did look up I think I had told you I wasn't sure because like in different states, the percentile of delayed and with insurance and if you know for early intervention varies state to state. So I did look it up. So in Illinois, it's 30%. I did like a little just from what I knew from what we talked about and what you've shown me. But I wasn't sure about the standing and if he bounces in standing, so I couldn't score that one accurately. But it looked like he was without those, he was like it was kind of like iffy, like, oh well, next month though he's probably gonna make some milestones and then he wouldn't be at that 30%. But I did see him push through his legs today and he did do a little bit of bouncing. Does he bounce when he stands often?
Yeah, he bounces.
So he's probably so he probably wouldn't qualify for early intervention then because it has to be at least 30% delay or below. So he's probably, like he might be like 25%. So but just keep working on it and we can keep meeting. And then if it and we can do that if you want to like do it together, the ELAP, we can do it together to get like a definite score.
Okay.
And just to to see if I know you had mentioned that the PT that he saw around 4 months said he didn't need therapy.
Yeah, it was at yes, but it was at 6 months. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like he's made a lot of progress since then?
I feel well because when we met the physical therapist at 6 months, he was only rolling one way. He was only rolling one way and he wasn't sitting yet.
Okay.
And then we made the appointment like a week out. And then before our appointment, he had started sitting and then rolling both ways.
Awesome.
But I mean, we still went to the appointment, but the physical therapist said we didn't need to come back and he was fine.
Good. And I saw his posture. His posture is beautiful. He's just like upright. And I wish I had that posture. Yeah, so we're all done for today. And let me just, we went through. Oh yeah, if you all, I can just show you the ball. I have a ball. I don't know if y'all still have time for one last little video. It's just of me playing with Levi on the Swiss ball. And I know last time we were going to do it and we didn't have time. We won't have time today, but I could show you the video. At least maybe it can give you some ideas that you can try between sessions and it'll just be real fast. Let me see where it is. But this is how you can also do tummy time without it really being tummy time. Brittany, how we talked about on the ball. That's also working on prone on elbows, like tummy on elbows. on the ball there. So you can do a lot of things on the ball. And also like Emmy, Kylie, if you want to sit her on the ball and do that shifting side to side like you were doing on your leg, that could be really good for her core also. So do you all, the next session, we can just make it a ball session and then we can just kind of play on the ball. And then if any babies are napping, if you have a ball and a doll, it could still help you do like the motions and stuff and participate, so it's easier to try it with your baby later. All right, does anyone else have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and you all enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.